nice and organized. So first, we will do an introduction like the one I'm doing right now. We will jump into this presentation where I will walk you through all the benefits of Otto as an educational tool. We will have a quick look at the coding, quick look at the 3D design, and we have a bunch of robots here ready for you to have a look. So first, I will roll back a little bit here. So Otto has been a project that I started almost 9 years ago. It was first a DIY robot for anybody to 3D print, open source, very affordable and accessible. Eventually, I moved to here, Czech Republic, and I joined Moravia Consulting as a tech developer, where in hands with HP Inc., we developed this new robot that we released last year into the market, HP Robots Otto. Great connect code. Now that we are in the trends of the AI, we started to play a little bit with ChatGPT. You can see a little bit version of myself here in an anime style, and also Otto as well. This is the agenda as I was introduced before. And I will jump right into the problem, why we are here, why are we talking about robots, why it is important for the future of kids and like the humanity itself. Before, I'm talking about when I started this project 10 years ago, it was clearly more difficult to build robots. And this problem was more visible. The fact that it was very difficult, even for me as a product design engineer, jump into robotics, it was a challenge. Not only because materials were difficult to find, knowledge was kind of restricted to the elite or like very advanced and specialized engineers that could really bring a robot to life. Nowadays, we have great tools like the ones you see on the screen that can make it very easy, but maybe too simple and too simplified for kids in a way that you don't know at the end how it works at Robot Inside. Then you have in the right side, the other extreme where like robots can be built with a bunch of cables, a bunch of spare parts, soldering and tinkering a lot, but the level here is very high, very complicated, and it requires a lot of expertise. So this was a personal challenge for me because I wanted to build robots and it was very complicated on the right. It was very expensive on the left. And I decided to design my own robot. And that's how Otto started to come to life. Eventually, it became this philosophy kind of create, connect, code with your very first robot. The fact that many robots nowadays are very focused in programming or electronics, but not the whole thing to actually bring a robot to life. So we aim to create this very unique STEM education tool for the classroom, not only for the classroom. You will see this year and in a series of slides how we are targeting also the home audience and how to really bring robotics to everybody. We're talking about 8 years old, so keep in mind this age as a reference, even though the cultural difference, this can change a lot. Create, connect, code, then is our kind of like 3 pillars of learning, where we like manage to incorporate very important skills of the future in a small package. So 3D printing, it's very popular nowadays, so it's there. A modularity, electronics that are easy to connect, and coding. So basically, we want to make the lowest barrier for real robotics. This is kind of like our process where we want to push students to learn all the concepts, even though it's not necessarily like a linear process. For example, if you have a 3D printer, this is ideal setup. You start from the left, you create your own robot in the materials or colors that you want, then you slowly build it and you can code it. But you can as well start with a full kit in the middle and then go into the coding and then at the end do the 3D printing. That's also feasible. So we have like multiple learning paths actually. The create part, which is our very unique learning and educational part because almost no other robot in the market address this in the way we do it at least. And is that we really incorporate the design and creativity aspect into the project. You can modify it because the files are available. You can make holes or different attachments to it. Of course, once you have the 3D printer, you have unlimited number of colors and materials that you can also use to create or to bring your own creations to life. You can see here a little bit examples, accessories that are added into our starter kit, things that you can modify, things that you can adapt or just plug into. And this year we come with a surprise. Well, for not many, if you have been following us in social media, we have this cooperation with Makers Empire, where the process of designing parts, it's very simplified, very easy. It's almost like a game for very early ages in any device. And I will jump into this more later in detail, but first we're going to have a little overview of the three aspects. So connect is the part when we like present you with the kit that you have to build the robot yourself. And by building the robot yourself, you learn how it works. You learn how to use a simple screwdriver that might seem like something very not important, but it's relevant for the mechanics of the robot, the electronics, how they are connected, how the inputs and output works, and then you end up with a functional robot that then you can program. So that's the connection part. We have a bunch of materials that help to accompany all the way from manuals to videos, pictures, very illustrated guides. Here you can have a little look of how our manual looks, very detailed with a lots of hints and tips and tricks, easy to read. We have it in multiple languages as well. And then you can easily build a robot in 30 minutes or less. Then there's the coding part. And this one, of course, is the more popular among robotics tools, is that, of course, you want to learn programming with robotics. It's a very important aspect of the learning. We have it in a full ecosystem. So we make sure that the barrier, again, is very low from beginners with very simple blocks that don't even have text. And then you slowly jump up to text editing software based in MicroPython or Arduino. So like we have also full compatibility with different devices. We right now have a web app that can easily just open in the browser, connect the robot, and is ready to programming. But we are also working in future apps and more offline software that you will see maybe in a following webinar. But at least you get the idea of how like we want to really cover all the aspects that make the programming of a robot. Here's a little bit show how that curve looks in terms of the learning. You start first with the icons. There's a simulator as well for the electronics. You play with the blocks, and then eventually the real programming with text-based. And we are also incorporating a little bit of AI extensions. We have some beta already of some of the extensions that you can use to incorporate machine learning, teachable machine, and other AI models into the interaction with the robot. Here, kind of like, this is one of my favorite slides because it shows really how we are doing all that it's included in a robot. Like here, it's about the design, the programming, and the electronics. That's what it really makes a robot. If you're missing one of these circles, it's for sure not complete because these are essential to invent a robot. For that, we have, of course, a lot of learning materials, presentation, teacher guides in our website that are all accessible just with the kit. And you can like slowly get into the different topics, different skills by following all these guides. There's a forum also where we constantly discuss and solve questions for anybody that needs help. So everything that you need to get started into robotics, that's Otto. Now we're going to jump a little bit into the kits. We have the starter kit, which is our like flagship product, where it's the essential one that you need to get to get into this ecosystem of robotics. So again, multiple coding options is the same as I was mentioning before: imagination and creativity and problem solving. It can follow line, it can avoid obstacles. We have RGB lights. We have very high quality electronic parts incorporated into this. We design and manufacture our own electronics to make sure that they comply with the HP certifications or requirements. With 3D printing house. So for many of you don't know, we're going to start to show this year more behind the scenes, but we have a 24/7 3D printer farm where we constantly produce our own parts for the robots. At the same time, we test the designs. We are ready to modify and improve everything in the robot in a matter of days, thanks to 3D printing. And like this, we ensure also that our materials are good, that the robot will work the same for once you have the kit, once you have the parts, once you're going to print it at home, if you're going to do that. So it's also like a quality control for us. So as I mentioned, infrared sensors, rechargeable batteries, super important to have the battery included, which is might look like obvious, but not many kits really include that. We are very proud of also our quick plug connectors, which make it just a breeze to connect electronics. There will never be a situation where there's a short circuit because of that, because the connector will protect or will avoid to be connected in a reverse way. So that's also something that helps a lot with beginners. Here, going more into detail, so we have the starter kit and all our kits that I will mention later. They have two options. This is getting close now to the purchase part of the kit. It's like either you buy it as a builder kit or as a creator kit. So this decision is just, do you have a 3D printer? No? Then buy the builder kit. Do you have a 3D printer? Yes, then you get the creator kit. Because the only difference is that you get the plastic parts included or not. And if you want the plastic parts included, those are the ones that we are producing in our farm. Here, going into the modularity of the robot, which is one of the important aspects as well, is that initially in the robot that I designed 9 years ago, if I wanted to make a new robot with legs or with wheels, I had to 3D print the whole body, for example. And that's one of the biggest improvements that we are also very proud, is that you can just attach or detach parts to change the functionality of the robot, and you don't need to 3D print the whole thing again. This presents a very good solution for schools when you want to have quick iterations of maybe the designs that they're working in the classroom or at home. If you are come up with a new idea, you don't have to wait like 5 hours to see the result. You will wait maybe maximum 1 hour for that particular module to be finished, and it can be immediately tested. So we have 4 expansions. 3 of them are in the market. I will clarify. The 4th one will come in summer, which is the Invent. I will go more into detail now, and you will see it in the stuff. But very quickly, we will browse these ones. Maybe in future webinars, we will more go into detail. But we have sensors. So we have the light, the sound sensor, the temperature, humidity, the tilt orientation or the vibration sensor. In the interact, we have things to interact with the robot, as the name says. Accelerometer, buttons, encoders, potentiometers, knobs. DMO, this is one of my favorite ones. It can change the face of the robot to have more personality. It has an MP3 player, so you can make it talk or play music. And you also have an LED matrix to have a different kind of expression, and also have the RGB on it. The Invent is the one that we are finishing this year to launch. This one, it's a surprise for many, but we maybe had some little hints in the social media. This is going to be a great kit because it incorporates compatibility with Lego Technic. We can have different attachments to add new functionalities. You can make it walk. You can have some tracks to make it ride onto different obstacles. You can create mechanisms to make it work different. You can make a gripper. So it's kind of like a 4-in-1 kit, or to have at least 4 new ways to play with the robot, just with one expansion. So this one we have been testing for a long time, just to make sure that it really works in any circumstance. And that's why we're just going to release it. Almost going into the end of the presentation, and then we will go into a little bit the showcase. I just wanted to give a little bit news for many in terms of the HP filaments, a brand that we are launching this year, or we already launched with the first series, that is a fast PLA. It's a filament, the same one that we use in the robots. Now we have in 8 colors, and it's special for fast printers. So now the 3D printers have new technologies that allow to print off very fast speeds, which is an advantage for home or school, because in matter of minutes you can get your design printed. So this filament is special for those kind of prints, and we have in 8 different colors. You will see more information in our website. Along with that, a little bit teasing, we are bringing a new 3D printer, not HP branded, but a third-party one, to close the whole ecosystem of 3D printing and 3D design. So we have the filaments, we'll have the printer, and we have the software in partnership with Makers Empire. In that way, we will have a very solid structure in terms of creativity and tools that will allow really to flourish any ideas that kids will have. So thanks for your time. Well, thanks for listening this part. We are still not going to jump into the questions. I'm going to do a little bit demo of the web coding. So just for you guys to have a look, this is the icons mode. So this one is very simple. It's just simple icons that I can like modify, drag and drop, change the order, right? And then I already have connected my robot, and I can click play, and you will see it in the webcam. Once I will play it again. So yeah. So there's a little light effect we have there. Of course, I can modify the code as I want. You will see, you saw that the communication is very fast. I'm using USB now, but we can also do Bluetooth if we want. There's already resources here where you can have a look at all the examples and how the blocks work. Then this one is supposed to be like an icebreaker, very simple. You see here, the functions are just very basic because it's intended to keep it easy, like not something complicated for kids to get scared, like this one, it's to chill, just to, oh, wow, I can do this. I can really code. And then there's the transition to the words mode. I mean, it's called words because now instead of only the icons, we have words that explain what the block does. And the advantage of this is that it has much more functions. It has much more functions, much more blocks to play with, hundreds of different combinations you could make, or thousands. Then you have, again, learning resources incorporated in that, apart from the lessons that we have in the EduZone. And this will guide step by step how to get started into very simple coding, easy stuff, conditionals, variables, functions, all the very important concepts of coding. And the great thing is that you can have a look at your code here. And this code is real code that is happening in the robot, and it can be also modified. So again, this one has a little bit of connection here. I can pair it. Oh, I have it here open. So I close this one. Then try again. Now it's fine. I played the code. This one has a little bit demo. And it can show how the robot works. It's going to move a little bit. This one is more like ultrasonic. So if I put some obstacle, which now it's everything, there. So it detects and changes the code. Yeah, then that one has an incorporated simulator as well. Just in case you don't have the robot, you can already have a look and get a taste of how it works, all the web code ecosystem. So just play and it will show on the right here, little electronic simulation of the parts. And the same code can be saved and open in the work code and to run it in the real robot. So this is our basic ecosystem for coding. We also have a mobile app, a web app for the mobiles that also work in mobiles. That is for the remote control. The mobile app is it's a little thing that we are working on the side, but you will know about that later in other webinars. So the current one we have functional and published, it's this web control app. This one, you can rearrange the controls. You have what we call widgets, where you can add new interactions into it. This one works mainly via Bluetooth, so I can connect it to Bluetooth to any robot. I can also open it in my phone and connect it to the robot and have just the basic direct control with the robot. This one is intended to more showcase or have different kind of games like football and other stuff. And we will be expanding it even more. Now, the thing that many of you haven't seen, jumping into Maker's Empire, we have a collaboration with this great company that has this amazing app where you can design your own robot. Now, this is not only for Otto. Many of you might be familiar with Tinkercad. Even in one of our lessons, we have Tinkercad as one of the tools. This is also not the only tool you can use to design Otto, of course, but this makes it very easy because here on the right, we have now the Otto parts, and we will be adding much more that you can just add into the space, and you can use them to modify them, change the color, scale them. So it's very interactive. It works in tablets, even in phones, but of course it's not recommended in phones because it's too small. But it has very tactile experience, gamified with point system tutorials. I can easily change the color here, quickly change the size or modify the things here. For example, I can move them around. I can scale them a little bit here. Right? Very simple, very intuitive. There's a lot of content online for this, and this will be one of our following webinars. So I forgot to mention in the web code, we will do a deep webinar into the coding part. And for the Maker's Empire, we will also do a dedicated webinar where we will have a 3D printer as well to show you how we can bring ideas to life in matter of a webinar. So that will be a very fun one. And all of you guys are already invited since you already joined this one, of course. And this is just a little overview for you guys to get a taste of it. So I think that is the main stuff. Let me go back into the agenda. We have the showcase of robots now, so I will jump into the webcam and do a little showcase here. Maybe you won't see me in the face, but like just here I can show you some of the stuff we can create with the kids. So you saw some of the pictures, things that are by default kind of projects, but this is also a series of things that can be arranged with the robot. So we have the accessories, as I mentioned before. So we can have attachments like this, or we can have something for collecting balls and stuff. We have here, maybe if you're gonna play sumo or different competitions, this is things that you will be able to build with the new Invent expansion. So we have our very popular walk and roll, aka Ninja, that can make the robot walk. It's the same PCB, the same battery, just new motors, new parts, new rings that transform it from the wheels to this one. So this one you might see in many fairs. People like it. But then with the compatibility with Lego, you can build things like this. So again, same parts, you can build mechanisms like this. So this for teaching physics, for teaching mechanisms is a very good one. You can leverage what you already are learning with the Legos with this one or with the technique. But then it's not only limited to robots. inputs. So for example, we have created a little bit of electronic panel here where I can interact with the different sensors and different inputs that we already have in our expansions. So for example, here I have the screen. It will show us the temperature we are. We are at 28. It's quite warm here because we are in this room. Here we have the potentiometer that can change the RGB position here. We have a button here that just activates something. It's measuring the light. So if I cover this one, for example, it starts to drop here, or it increases as they get closer to the light. Then we can have the LED matrix here displaying different emojis or different icons. All of that was coded with our ecosystem, with our platforms. Then, well, rolling back into the start there, we have the line following, which we deliver it with a map that you can use it just for the small cat, similar to this one. But we're working in a very cool game now that uses 3D printable parts or 3D printable maze to make a line map. So this was 3D printed with our filaments. And then with this one, it's just like, you can see this like Lego pieces, like puzzle, that just need to clip together. I'll make sure that is visible in the camera. So this was printed separately, but our print manager also shows that it's possible to print with different colors and it just merged together. But this one, it's very nice. We already tried in some schools. Kids can create their own paths, very long ones, and then they can create different activities. And this one it's not a replacement of the regular maps, but it's a very good alternative in case that you want to have something long lasting in the classroom, because then with the map, sometimes they get a little wrinkles, they get dirty, or they just break. And with these ones, you can like reuse them and create infinite number of tracks just by combining them in different ways. You can always flip the tracks here so the robot will go out instead. And then you can continue from there. And the robot will go there. So yeah, a little bit of everything. Let me know if you have some questions. Now we can finally jump into the questions. If there's any comments that you have, we will be checking also the chats. So if you are not comfortable with talking, it's okay. You can just write there in the chat the question, and we will go through that right now. I will put then this thing to make sure that I'm listening myself, because I cannot hear right now what is happening there. And connecting the Bluetooth here. Okay, here. Let me check the chat. Somebody's raising their hand. Roger? You have a question, Roger? Okay, there's a question by Jerry. Will this webinar be available for rewatching? Yes. So we are recording right now, and we will send it first to you. Maybe we will publish on YouTube, but that will depend. Initially, we have it like exclusive for just the participants, but you will see it for sure. Okay. Yeah, you can use the Roger, yeah. I need to unmute you, man. Wait.
Sorry.
Okay,
I just forgot to turn on my mic.
Okay,
hi, Camilo. Long time no see.
Hey, long time no see you, man.
First of all, it's amazing to see the launch of the HP Robot. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I also just built my first Auto Ninja, but with the Raspberry Pi. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
as an old friend of the auto robot community, I have hosted several auto robot workshops across China, Taiwan, and Japan. So I completely understand the challenge of building robots with unknown hardwares makers places like Amazon or Taobao. So I really appreciate that the HP is prototyping such a well-designed robot education kit. So my question is, when will this education kit be available for purchase in countries like Japan or Taiwan?
Yeah, very good question. Actually, we have our sales guy for Asia in the chat. So I will forward to you the conversation and you guys can discuss further. So we already have a salesman in Singapore with logistics setup there for all Asia. And then you guys can see how to cooperate.
Thank you. Because I shared your homepage and your video demo with my members in Fab Lab. They are all really interested in that, but I know it's not available on Amazon Japan now. So
Right.
yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
maybe it will be more a direct channel, but that's something that can be discussed. We initially launched here in Europe. So in Europe, we have a more direct channels everywhere or directly with us. But for the rest of the world, it's a separate conversation. Nevertheless, we have distributors almost in every country in the world, of course, or at least the main ones.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your question. Good to see you. Yeah, I see a couple of codes here, so I will try to roll back in order. Jay asked, I find that the motor is a bit too loud. Is it just our auto or is it normal? Yeah, good question. So it's related to the speed, and it is loud mainly because of the metal gears. So like you will hear it, but it's normal. It can be reduced with a little bit of programming, like the speed, but yeah, that's aspect of the robot. The next one, Jerry, what are the limitations for codes that only work over USB cable and do not work over? So if you're referring to that before in the Bluetooth, we had some limitation in terms of the loops, that has been fixed. So before, for everybody to know, we are very transparent with these things. The Bluetooth have a limitation that you could not run a loop code, like that will constantly repeat a series of commands. So that has been fixed. And technically now you can run everything that you run in the USB, you can run it in the Bluetooth. Okay. Stanley says, thanks, great demos. I'm Stanley from Trinidad. Okay, hi. I bought the kit and accessories from USB outlet. When will be dancing rabbit available? Is there a sound track? Okay. So if the dancing one is this one, yeah. So we before had a different biped that could dance. It's a different architecture than this one. Actually, I have it right here. Don't worry, we have everything. If you mean more like this, you can see that the legs are different. So the one we are going to release have the function that it can also transform and roll. So you saw it in the demo. It just falls here and it goes around. This one was the very first that I created, and it only dances. You can also build this with the parts that we include, plus 2 motors. But it's not going to be one default construction, because this one we didn't see much value in terms of the educational part. Nevertheless, you can make this one dance too, believe me. So we have a couple of new codes that we are incorporating to make this one dance. So when? That's the question. Summer. I cannot give like a precise date, but let me tell you, we are now gonna print the packaging. That I can tell you. And then whatever it takes to do the packing and have the shipping and have it in a stock, and plus the 3D printing, then it's ready. Okay. The good questions, thanks. Can we have a 3D for the puzzle track that you just showed? Yes, of course. If you join our community, I already shared it before, but you can be around and we will be also publishing in the website. Can you share the program code to lower the motor noise? Also, yeah. We can check that directly with you. Sammy, hi, Peter. Thanks for your great demo and presentation. Well, I'm Camilo, but just that we are using Peter. Like maybe you can appear later in the camera. He's helping us to make this great setup and all the shots that you have been seeing, the transition. Of course, I'm not the only one. There's a whole big team behind. We will maybe do a show for you guys to see the people behind, but for now, yeah, like only me, the first webinar. You have to join the next one. So could you share with us how normally HP collaborate with the school to implement this program, how HP support the school? Well, I will clarify, we are not HP. We are a company that has been very close to HP through the calculator business for almost or more than 20 years. Because of that work with the calculators that now we own, we have a very close relationship with the licensing team. We presented the robot in 2023. We have a full year of discussions, presentation, and making sure that it fits like the philosophy of HP, and they approve. Now, in terms of relationship with the schools, it's through us. We use a lot of HP equipment. As you can see, my computer, like everything we have here, it's brand HP. We have good equipment that we also offer to schools locally. But apart from that, we haven't got into any more stuff. We have been doing pilots. So in 2023, we also did pilots, and they were very good, where we were donating the kits and stuff. Maybe this year, we will also do pilots. But we will see. Right now, we are doing the webinars to get in touch with the community, and then later we will be seeing if it's necessary. Okay, Stanley says thanks. Okay, Roger, can the HP webcode be used to program any Arduino board? No. Short answer. You can use it for any board that is compatible with MicroPython, but it will be quite complex for you because most of the blocks are decided for the GPIO of Otto. So if you are gonna use it, you will have to make sure you're defining the same pins. Once you define the same pins, then it should work. So, but Arduino, it has to be the ESP base, ESP32. Arduino Nano, Arduino Uno, that works with our old software, Autoblockly. So that one you can still download, it's open, and use that one for Arduino. But for new stuff, it's mainly compatible with our kits and our electronics. Jerry, I would also like to ask about problems with broken connection. Quick crash after the robot will do anything. Okay. So how about, Jerry, you post this in the forum and I can address with you directly. It's mostly related with firmware and libraries. updates. So most of the stuff can be solved just with updating the libraries and firmware, because it was maybe something that last year was not completely working, and now we fix. But we can even have a call, you and me, and I will help you. Okay, Stanley. I also asked about a soundtrack for the road to play music as it does. Yeah. Sorry, I missed that one. We have the MP3 module right here. Let me see. So that one comes with a mode expansion. What is good is you can play the music and you can still run other code at the same time. So in parallel. And different from the buzzer, which is first makes the sound and then you make a movement, or like it works in sequence, like blocking code. This one, you can even play it directly. If I connect the battery, I have an MP3 player, and whatever you put in the SD card, which we include, then you can play it. Any music, any audio, then you can combine it with the programming and the OLED, and you can make the robot talk. You can have different expressions. So this one is very good for that. And then, yeah, you can combine it with the walking robot and make it walk or dance and then play music at the same time, if that's what you want. Yes, it's possible. And we will be exploring some activities like that. Good. Let me see if I missed any other question. Very nice. Thanks for the participation. Okay. Okay, well, as I said to Jerry, if there's any other question, you can email us, you can write in the forum, you can leave it in this chat, because actually in this chat stays and we can still have some conversations there. Maybe by the end of the webinar, I will send the chat, a link to the WhatsApp chat. And in that one, we can even have further conversations with the community. Okay, some last technical question. Transfer information back to the computer via Bluetooth. Yes, you can. That's a very good question. So for example, with the remote control, you can measure the values in the sensors. Now, for example, the temperature sensor, we haven't created the widget for that, but we will have it. So basically, you will have the temperature sensor, which I had here, that was measuring the temperature and humidity, and we can see it in the computer. Right now, it's interacting with this one, but through Bluetooth, you can also get the information back. Because, for example, in the remote control, now you can get the information of the distance sensor. So this distance, I can see it in the web controller. Same principle with any sensor. Now, we don't have the widget for this one yet, but there will be one dedicated for temperature. Then with the web code app, you can also get to see the information, but in this area. So it depends where are you going to use it. But yeah, very nice. Well, if you have more questions, Jerry, we still have time to do it here. It's just that the Bluetooth one seemed like something specific. If you have more general technical questions, this is the time. We still have 12 minutes. So no worries. Okay, what about AI being used to chat with the robot? Okay, that's a good question. Our content creator, Ivan, created a chat bot with ChatGPT and some API. And basically, he was able to chat with the robot through the API. Like, tell, oh, can you move forward? And it will move. It's possible, but we haven't implemented any content related to that. But something we are going to explore also this year. We're going to do IoT as well, Internet of Things, the machine learning that I mentioned to you, a little bit of image recognition, but all of that will be along the way. Right now, what is ready is the lessons and the kits we have. But that's the idea of the robot. You are free to hack it. You are free to modify it to do any application you want. It's a sandbox. You have a whole a bunch of possibilities, like a whole world for creating stuff. Okay. All right, good question. Thanks, Jimmy, for posting the link to the community so you guys can see it there. Okay, you can see our colleagues also replying in terms of partnerships and collaborations. Yeah. Wow, it has been already 15 minutes. Time runs very fast with this call. Good to see you all. We are quite surprised that a lot of people wanted to join this webinar since we announced it like just a week ago, and we were not sure about the time. So this was a good test for us to establish this series of webinars. Now we know that this time is good for the majority. We will continue from here. So it will be 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, we will try to make a webinar. The next one will be then on the 24th of April, right? So 3 weeks from now. I think in the website we had it as 25 Friday, but now that we have this set up in this studio, we will keep it up same day, same hour. Okay. If there's no more questions, and let me see if I have anything else. No, I will show the webinar page so for you guys to. You don't need to sign up again. That's something that maybe people will start to ask. Because we will just send a new email with the new link and stuff. Unless you don't want to be, then you can email us, hey, I don't want to be in the webinar. But I think everybody like it. So yeah, the next one will be about the coding. The following one will be about the creation with design and 3D printing. We will have more as we go. Maybe next week we will plan and see what other topics are important. If you guys have ideas of topics that you want us to address, please let us in the comments, in the chat. And we will consider for the following webinars. If there's something specific that you guys would like us to show or to experiment with, to present, and we're open to that. Already with the questions, we already got an idea of what you guys want to talk about, but it would be good also to know if there's something else. It will be a little bit of everything. Also because the portfolio of Moravia is beyond Otto. We will start to incorporate other robots and other solutions that are in different age groups, right? So we have Cubeto, we have Curiscope, augmented reality, we have Row Wunderkind, we have Intelino, partnership with different companies. We have a drone, so the drone we might be exploring as well. Not HP branded, but similar solutions in the realm of STEM education, right? So we will be seeing. I will come back to the comments. Yeah, so you're welcome. Okay, cool. Right on time. Again, thanks for coming. We're very happy that you enjoy this first webinar of Otto. Welcome to join the following ones. If you have further topics you wanted to discuss, so you can join the community, ask anything you want, send us an email, and then we will send you a recording of this video. if there's nothing else to talk about, then enjoy your day and see you next time.